What's up guys, Logic Over Emotion, and today we have to discuss yet another hypocritical article from the Washington Post, so stay tuned. Now before we begin the video, I'd like to ask you to like, comment, and share. If this is your first time here at Logic Over Emotion, consider hitting that subscribe button. We'd love to have you as part of the channel, because here we bring the hard truth while others are busy virtue signaling. Alright, so the title of this Washington Post article is Trump Employs Images of Violence as Political Fuel for Re-Election Fight. Now the article starts by saying, and I quote, President Trump has reverted to using graphic depictions of violence as a centerpiece of his re-election campaign strategy, using his Twitter account, stump speech, and even the White House podium as platform for amplifying domestic conflict, end of quote. So it's funny, by simply showing what's happening in the real world, he is amplifying domestic conflict. Got it. Now the first half of the article centers around this concept. It talks about him posting a few videos, one of which a video of a melee in Texas between protesters and security officers during an event for a Trump-affiliated group. Trump goes on to say, you know, these are the Democrats' peaceful protests, and it could lead to a rise of citizen militias around the country. And right after this point in the article, it goes on to talk about, you know, Trump repeatedly encouraging assaults on protesters at his own events. Again, I find this funny, you know, that they keep attacking from this perspective, considering it's not his supporters out there committing crimes against people. Literally, the only thing they have against, you know, Trump supporters are all defensive actions, or actions that are done because they were forced to. Again, Kyle Rittenhouse didn't go to Portland to shoot anyone. He borrowed Kenosha, he borrowed a gun for protection, and after watching that video, it's obvious that was a good idea. They referenced the Trump supporters shooting paintballs at people. Well, I mean, what do you expect when you're coming up to people's vehicles and you're trying to box them in? I mean, you know, Antifa and BLM can burn buildings, hurt and kill people, but we are going to, you know, be worried about paintballs. The article then goes on to talk about how Trump posts things and tries to connect them to Antifa or BLM, like the video of the black man brutally attacking a white person. He posted it with the caption suggesting that, you know, the assailant in a New York subway assault in 2019 was connected to BLM or Antifa. Now, I don't get this. Because isn't this what the left always does? As soon as anyone is against Antifa or BLM or stand their ground, they must be some Trump supporter that's a racist and white supremacist, or some random person trying to get through a BLM roadblock because they have a doctor's appointment to get to is racist than a Trump supporter. I mean, simply saying all lives matters makes you a racist today. But then we can't post videos of blacks attacking whites and make the same assumption. It's kind of funny how that works. Then, of course, the article goes on to blame Trump for all the violence in the streets. It said politically motivated street fights have become more common during his presidency. Again, that doesn't make it Trump's fault. People just aren't that stupid. Trump isn't out here advocating for violence. As a matter of fact, he's clearly showing that law and order should prevail. The article then states that that from Trump's start in politics, he's brushed aside the idea that he has responsibility for any additional violence that results from his campaign style. I mean, really? So what about all of the violence going on now because of the left's false narrative? So you want Trump to be responsible for violence that he didn't even create, while taking no responsibility for the violence that you have created. The media is elevating to new levels of stupid. Just another example of why Trump will find victory come election day. Everything in this article, if you replace Trump with the left, you would have an accurate story, because all of this violence they claim that he promotes, they are in fact promoting it. And coming from a group of people that said Trump will put black people back in chains, I mean, who is really reaching here? Trump is simply showing you what exists in the world today, in the streets. And basically the left uses scare tactics and tries to, you know, makes claims of things that will never happen. And they even make threats basically saying if Trump is reelected, that there's going to be more violence. So as long as the left continues to operate as they do, they will never push this type of narrative on someone who is objective. Of course, their base will love it, but anyone on the outside looking in will kind of just say, well, that looks backwards. Trump actually seems to be uniting the country, and the left is dividing it and making everything about race and identity politics. Anyways, that's going to be it for this one. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. As every day goes by, the left is making it easier and easier. You guys take care.